Hi guys, so I did a video like this almost 2 years ago in 2013 about what models I thought would retire for 2014. Anyway, we're now approaching 2016, about 4 months off, but I thought I'd get this done so my predictions are in. Anyway, I really enjoyed it, doing it last year, so I thought I'd do it again. I've just had a little think, and I know these are probably not accurate, so don't hold me to this. This is just my ideas of what will retire after seeing many years of horses go, even though Schleich are getting more and more slightly ridiculous in the ones they retire. But anyway, I'll just share with you my ideas. So this is my little group. So I've got the Clydesdale Gelding, the Clydesdale Foal, the Icelandic Stallion, the Black Rearing Mustang, the Hanoverian Stallion, the Tennessee Walker Yearling, the Pinto Yearling, the Andalusian Mare and the Andalusian Foal. I just have to point out that I don't have all the models, so I can't give a really wide range. This is just my input, and probably half of these are because I don't have the whole family, and I will go through I'll go through the ones which I don't have the full set of as well when I get to them. So first of all, it's these two. Of course, the mare retired in 2012, but she did look a lot different to these two in sculpting and painting wise. These two did look a lot newer and more realistic than her. But I'm not sure if Schleich are just moving into this whole new era of horses, because if you look at the 2014 and 2015 horses, and then put them up next to these guys, they don't look as in with the theme, because of course Schleich are changing a lot. But I do really like these two models, so it's not because I don't like them. I genuinely like all of their models. So I'm just going with these two as a maybe, because they are heavy horses and they'll either stay for ages or not long. But anyway, that's why those two are there, and I do have them both. There's no others. So anyway, then I have the Icelandic Stallion. I don't have the foal. And of course, they've redone the mare, so it's technically still like a family, even though only one's in my barn. But I just chose him and another one that I'll show you in a minute, because it's sort of like an awkward mould. He won't go happily in a barn and then look at home in a field. He will just literally look at home in a field, even though that's fine. And I do like when they do the sort of fancy struts and gaits and everything. But a few years, the one I did in 2013, you saw how I put the lying down Haflinger foal, the suckling Knabstrapper foal, and the grazing Arabian foal together, and said they're probably at risk because of their mould. And the Knabstrapper and Arabian actually did retire, even though the Haflinger is still going strong over there, outliving the younger foal. But anyway, so that's why he's there, even though I know he is a family. There is a family for him, and they're very new, but I just put him there just because. Anyway, over here is Dominic, my rearing Mustang Stallion. He is here for a similar reason to Mark, my Icelandic. It's because they also retired the white one when they had the two moulds out, and I also find that he is awkward in the barn, because even though they've just brought out the rearing mini Shetland, he's bigger, which I know doesn't exactly try and say much, but whenever I pick him up, I think he is really well done. But at the time, he does have a scratch there. I bought him like that. Anyway, but when I'm filming, he's sort of in the distance, because I literally just don't know what to do with him. I know Schleich don't just bring out these models so people can film with them, but I just think that it is a bit of a hard mould to do much with, even though it is beautifully done. So I think he is at some risk, so I just put him sideways in case he does fall and he doesn't crush my other ones. Anyway, now I've got the what am I doing? Right, Hanoverian Stallion. I really like this mould. He was my second stallion I ever bought in Schleich, so that means he has been with me a while, and I really like him. I like his shading, but seeing as they have redone the mare and foal, I know they must have been happy with him more than the retired Hanoverian mare and foal, because they did look different to him. He did look a lot more realistic. But if they want to just revamp him, for goodness sake, they revamped the Icelandic mare for not a lot of improvement. They're both stunning, but but it wasn't necessarily needed to redo, because they are getting really expensive, these models now, and literally the Pinto Mare, they just literally redid her paint. They've done that on a few, but with the Pinto Mare, it's literally the same colours too. I know it takes a lot of effort to resculpt a whole new horse, but I'm just saying there is a lot of money in this now. But anyway, so he's here just in case, although he is beautiful, and I don't think he will. I'm just putting him here as he is like one of the older ones now. It's sort of a continuous theme. None of these ones are majority old, new, apart from the Icelandic. These are the older ones, and literally Quinn, I think, is from 2010. So we're into this decade, and I don't think there is literally any current ones older than Quinn at the minute. I might be wrong. I might be wrong, so don't hold me to that. Anyway, then I have the 2 yearlings, as the Black Forest one retired, and then the mare did, and then the stallion did. I'm wanting to say, or then the stallion mare did at the same time, I think, actually. Anyway, and that's sort of what happened with the Clamp Foal, and he was an awkward mould. It was him 1 year, and then the mare stallion the next year, so yeah, that is what happened with the Black Forest. Anyway, so I know they've retired the mare and stallion of the Pinto one to redo this year, and then Cassie, my one's just stayed. But I have seen them being sneaky and putting her in with a set as a repaint, like the mould's the same. And I know you guys have probably know all about this much earlier in the year. But anyway, so I'm not sure if they're going to phase her out and just have this gift set Pinto as the new one, yet never bring that one out properly. Anyway, then we have the Tennessee Walker yearling. I was actually lucky enough to have all the yearlings at the same time, which I feel really privileged to have had. But I don't have the new one, the new stallion, or the mare. I've seen the mare. I've finally actually seen the mare in real life. That was a nice day. Anyway, and sorry. So yeah, it is a family, but it's just because these have been out now for quite a while, and it's just a bit like, if you film, it is a bit like, okay, I'm a yearling, the next year I'm still a yearling. Like, I know it's the same with the foals, but I just thought I'd point that out. So I'm not sure if they are at risk, because they have beaten 3 of their parents altogether to not retire. But anyway, and then finally we have the Andalusian Mare foal, as they have just retired the stallion, so I'm not sure if they're going to like come out this in 2016 with this like new mould, which was totally different and nice, and it will make them look like a family again, even though they did. But anyway, or if they're just going to retire these off and bring out a whole new family, or they're going to retire like the foal off or the mare off and bring out a new family for her. But I'm not sure what's happening with these two, but I'm pretty sure she's 2009, so yeah, she came in 2010, and I think she's one of the oldest here, along with Tim. So it means they're not here. Sorry, the rearing one's actually the oldest by quite a few years after that, so he came in 2007. So yeah, it's obvious that they're not here to keep a mould around for too long now, like move on and get as much profit as possible. So these are my predictions. They are sort of the older horses. I'm not saying I want them to retire, and this is still a very long video, so I apologise. I'm not saying these are going to be correct, but it's just from my experience of the past years them retiring, but every year they are getting more sort of irrational by just repainting a mould in it's the same mould, just repainting it, even in the same colours, or fixing or changing a mould and still bringing out in the same colours, and people just buying it because it's a new 2015 one or whatever, and being like, this is the new mare, and it being totally different from the old one, but not actually a lot of change. Like the Icelandic mare, that's the same colours, the Pinto mare, that's the same colours and mould, the Pinto stallion, that's the same colours. I could go on, like the Shetland stallion, that's the same mould, and I could carry on, but anyway, I won't, because this video is quite long. Anyway, so they're my predictions. I hope you enjoyed that, whatever you got from it. Please feel free to drop me a comment of all the horses you think are retiring. Yes, I do not have the full collection, so I can't give you my full expertise over everything. Maybe if I did have the full collection, these guys, my ideas might have changed a bit, or it just been added to. But I'm not saying I should get the full collection. I'm not going to be that greedy. I was just saying my predictions might have changed bearing on what horses I have. But the horses I have at the minute, these are my predictions. Yeah, so just feel free to drop me a comment of yours or do your own video. Thank you for watching.